Weird gun laws in New York State that even New Yorkers probably don't even know about. If you're unfamiliar, New York State bans so-called assault weapons, the made-up term that banned semi-automatic rifles that can take detachable magazines that had the scary evil features such as a pistol grip, muzzle device, etc. You might ask, how do you have one of these in your hand? Well, in 2013, one of the things that they did was they gave you a registration period. And after the registration period, any new semi-automatic rifles had to be New York State compliant, either by having a fixed magazine or being featureless, getting rid of the pistol grip, the muzzle device, and having a fixed stock like this one. But one provision that they actually left into the Penal Code 265 and Penal Code 400, and if you don't believe me, you can call the New York State Police over at the Safe Act hotline, that any semi-automatic rifle that is over 50 years old that falls under the assault weapon category is considered an antique assault weapon and may be registered by the New York State Police and owned as a antique assault weapon. Granted, you have to have your semi-automatic endorsement permit unless you did this before the ban. This is a gun that people from free states actually might appreciate because this is actually a 1972 Colt SP1. Some people from free states might say, oh, well, you had to register, that's why it's legal. Well, for us New Yorkers, that's actually big because they don't allow the registration of any rifles that are over that. You can't just go and build a rifle and then register it. It has to be 50 years old or older. And for those of you thinking, oh, well, can you just put a modern upper on it? According to them, you can't do that. You cannot modernize these. I know that it's semantics because technically the lower is considered the firearm portion and New York State doesn't go any more detail than that. Well, the New York State Police are the ones that allow it based on the penal code, and they're the ones that are probably going to enforce it, so I wouldn't mess around with that. The form is on the New York State Police site that you can do it. I'll show you my registration paper here redacting my personal information. They actually were able to register this for me the same day, and the tricky part is finding one because you're going to be spending thousands of dollars and you're going to have an FFL that actually will allow this. Luckily mine did. You can see just how it was in the 70s. No forward assist, just like Stoner intended. The Japanese Hanko scope. And if you want more details, go and check out my long form video on YouTube where I go into more details about everything about this firearm and the registration. Because there's a lot of people out there that'll be like, oh, that's not legal at all. Oh, yes, it is. Call the New York State Police hotline if you don't believe me. And I wouldn't be showing this off if it wasn't. This is the only legal way that you can get a normal AR-15 in New York State because Colt made ARs well over 50 years ago, and every year that goes by, more weapons get opened up to that 50-year rule.